guys, so now what we're going to do is do value studies based off of our thumbnails. So let's see if I can find a thumbnail that I really want to do. There's a lot going on in a lot of these. I kind of like the simplicity of number 6, but this number 8 does read a little bit more funny to me. Same thing goes with number 10, is a little bit more funny. I don't know, but maybe number 6 is simple, but then it's also kind of funny. Let me see if I can bring up for myself. Always revisit the source material. Let's see. The quote is, "If you go to bed thirsty, your spirit will wander off and drink from foul mud puddles." So I think I might go for number 6 because I think that that's kind of a funny play on words for foul mud puddles are there. The spirit's there, but I might add a little like nightgown onto him. So let's go ahead and make these thumbnails a little bit larger. So for the assignment, I believe I'm asking for 4 value studies. I apologize if I'm asking for more, but it should be only 4. And what I mean by value studies is we want to be able to figure out the light and then the dark of the scene, and also be able to tie in like maybe an emotion to that, like a tone to those things. But really it's a process of looking at the light sources and figuring out where is the lighting coming from. So let me go ahead and start. This is a mixed media paper. If you're using your watercolor paper, that's fine too. But I wouldn't use like ultra nice stuff because this is just for your own edification, your own studying, so you can transfer over to like a nicer paper later. Another thing is the manga paper that I recommend. You can easily use that for it. The illustration paper, I think it's perfectly fine. Again, you want to make sure that the weight of the paper is 140 plus, which is basically anything that will take water well as far as the paper goes. I'm going to go ahead and really roughly make this. I wonder if I might do this in pen again. Let me just check my water solubility. I have a brush. I'm going to dip it in water. I'm going to go over. Yeah, okay, it should be fine. So this particular pen is not water soluble. So that means that I can use this without getting a kind of a barrier in between things. If you're using pencil, this is a mechanical pencil, or even if you're using a traditional pencil of some sort, make sure that you spray it with fixative and then wait a little bit. Please spray your fixative outside so you do not, have a respiratory issue after the fact, because it's not only smelly, but it's bad for you. Just please spray your fixative on that if you are using pencil. The cool part about these thumbnails is they still don't need to be ultra detailed, completely worked out. You'll be drawing the same thing now 4 different times, and I'll show you that in a second. Another thing is when you're drawing those things 4 different times, what I used to do as well, if you find yourself in a pinch, go ahead and photocopy it. You can do that. If you happen to be using like another type of medium, not like something that's wet media, but if you need to do tonal studies for, a project that's going to be mixed media, or if you don't want to draw the same drawing over and over again. Also, this goes back to the digital process. When you're in Photoshop, you'll be able to kind of copy paste the same drawing over and over again. I'm just going to really, really roughly put this number 6 drawing, this one here, to use. So let me just look and see if I can copy that 4 different times. And notice that these are maybe double the size of my thumbnails. Like, I could probably stay the same size, but I'm just gonna block these out. And notice that I'm not like, you probably know me by now, but I'm definitely not a ruler type of person. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. It looks pretty good. And I'm gonna try and keep things consistent. So draw my puddle. My puddle's kind of looking like a figure 8, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, there are reeds that are sticking out in either way. I think I'm gonna try and make this more of a closed kind of format. That's fine. There are, and I'm not quite sure, like, see how there's like trees in the background? I don't know if I'm gonna keep that kind of a thing. I don't know. Let me just try it out really small. I feel like I could darken these to make them more of a thing in the background and then bring that down. Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better. So I'm probably not going to draw this portion, but that's why we do thumbnails. That's why we can kind of play around with these things. I don't want the top of my tree to be like touching the edge of my boundary. So I'm just gonna plan for that. The horizon line is somewhere around here. And then notice that I'm drawing pretty lightly. I mean, this is pen after all. Okay. Just gonna really roughly, this is my shorthand for trees. And the thing is, see, like, I can't change the type of shape of trees. I either do pine trees or I'll do like maybe a soft type of tree. But this one actually needs to be lifted a little bit because I want this kind of sweeping down, like diagonal. I want my trees to create a diagonal. But like, say for instance, if you do thumbnails and you did a round tree, and then all of a sudden you're doing pine trees, that's changing your composition completely. So stick to your composition the best you can. And then let me put my ghost in. Ghost goes here. And then, you know, notice that I'm not even going too far with this. There's a house that's supposed to be in the background. So house, house, house. And I'm just putting just enough drawing in to know. I think I'm like here, I might put a little window so we know. So just window and a door maybe. There you go. Add a little interest there. Maybe 2. I don't know. If it looks like a face, people are just gonna look at it. I don't know. We'll find out. During the process, I can still make changes. That is the beauty of doing this. Road, let's find out. I don't know if I like this road or not. Put some grass. I think I expressed that earlier. I'm like, I don't know if I like this road. I feel like it distracts a little bit, so I might fill that back in. We'll find out when we get to things. Yes, and then the ducks. So we have the duck. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this road because I feel like I can use the duck more. So let me just do the duck. And I just need to remind myself that I'm not gonna do that road. Okay, this duck is very upset because it's in his little pool space. And the ghost brought this straw. So let me just make sure that that looks like a thing. My read was in the opposite direction in my thumbnail, so I should actually put it in the opposite direction. It's fine to go like this. That's the only thing about doing this in pen is like, if you mess up, like, well, there it is. But, you know, that's fine. This is really for your own path. Now, I want to make there's another birdie kind of like this, another birdie kind of like this, another birdie kind of like this. Oops. Jeez, this is getting really sloppy, sorry. And then another birdie kind of like this. And then I want maybe some noise lines, so you know that like the bird is had it. Kind of, and I think I might put him in the PJs. So let me just, I'm trying to bring my ghost in so his gesture is working a little bit better. I'm gonna keep going back and forth to look at my stuff, but let's go ahead, maybe make him with his little stripes on. Because that is the, it's very old-fashioned. It's really funny, like how we have such a shorthand for some really old-fashioned things, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then he's like, oh no, really? I can't eat this? But I came here and I'm so thirsty, like, please. This is really silly. Okay. And then let me put a little like night hat on him. But yeah, like this is like such a, I mean, this is the Old News Project. So the Old News Project is from, these articles are from the 1920s, 30s. So no one really has nightcaps like that anymore. Maybe you do. Put some grass in the foreground. Do I want to put a moon? I don't know. I don't think so, because I feel like that would distract from this. So the next step is, let me just go ahead and explain the actual process of using some gouache. Got my gouache right here, and how we're going to be doing this project. We're only going to be using black gouache for this. Do not use white gouache. I will show you that in the next video.